subscribe, and ring the bell to never miss an update. Hello everyone, welcome to the Carmine Dance Hall Spring Antique Show. Can't wait to take you inside to discover some treasures together. During the last show, we met lots of dealers who share their knowledge and wonderful collections. It's a great opportunity to add to your collection and learn something new, all with a bit of history. Join me. We will discover the best of the best at the Carmine Dance Hall Antique Show. Welcome to the Carmine Dance Hall Spring Antique Show and Sale. You can find them here in our round top show guide and map. There are 20 dealers from around the country who are here to showcase and offer their wares, all with a bit of history, and they are very helpful and eager to share that knowledge with you. Let's shop the show. Mark your calendars for the fall show with October 10th, the preview night, and the show runs through October the 15th here at the Carmine Dance Hall. Lots to discover here with some fabulous silver, and we will learn from the dealer some of the history of how this was made. And it is a complete set with the sterling tray, a very popular pattern. I'm pleased to introduce you to Virgil Mitchell, a silver dealer. He's got some interesting finds, including a Francis I coffee tea set.
Yeah, this is a Francis I coffee tea set made by Reed and Barton. And this particular one is not stamped out like some of their later things they did. It's actually hand chased and to lay out the pattern. And as you can see, these pieces, the fruit is raised. And then that was hand engraved and then hand chased to bring out to raise the fruit to make it look three-dimensional. And it's also has another technique that was done on silver, and that's called cast and applied. Like this finial would be applied. The handles and the edge, the rim of the tray, which is also sterling, is also cast and applied onto it.
This beautiful piece is part of a serving dish. We've often seen this in porcelain, but this is a great example of sterling silver.
Yes, this is a piece done by one of the more famous of the English silversmiths, and his name was Paul Storr. And his marks are, you can know this by the marks that are on the tray, and actually this is called a mazarine. It actually went inside of a tray to drain the meat or fish. But all of this work would have been cut out, it's called cut card, and it was cut out with files and saws.
Repoussé is well represented here with a pair of matching covered vegetable dishes. I can see these for tea time as well, filled with scones or muffins. And that's an interesting silver technique that we learned about in a recent visit at Marburger Farm. These are priced as a pair, $4,950. Antique pieces often tell a story, and this one certainly does, with a sterling set that was commissioned by a client that features his children. Alfred Wagstaff III, and I'm sure there's an interesting history there with his family. And this is a porridge set, and there you see the children's faces. Quite an interesting set. And it also has a gold wash. Absolutely incredible. And this is an asparagus server. I quite like this. You could use it for many different purposes. Absolutely incredible. $3,750. And of course you could use it without the liner and fill that with some tea time treats as well. The silver is absolutely stunning, and there is such rich history here, including with the coin silver set with these pitchers and goblets. They're hand chased, would probably have been commissioned as well by a family. And there you see that rich detail. Would have been meaningful, and there you see the train. Probably represents the industry. And I'm about to show you something that is Texas sized. Unbelievable. This was also commissioned. Priced at $1,200 for this very special ladle. You'll see that monogram, and it is hammered, which adds some interest. Quite amazing. I always say punch bowls are party perfect, and of course you need the ideal ladle. This one is bigger than a Buick. It was custom made for a wealthy West Texas oil family, complete with their monogram and a pouring spout, most likely used for campfire chili. There is such history and craftsmanship with these pieces, and if you look carefully, you can even see that Greek key or meandering pattern on that picture. And it's not something you find at your average antique store, and that's why I like to shop the Carmine Dance Hall Antique Show. This pierced basket has lots of detail. It's priced at $1,700. It is a Georgian sterling basket with that swing handle and all of those cutouts. I'm sure it took many weeks to create this special piece. And definitely worth saving for. The silver trays are incredible. Lots of great serving pieces here that you can incorporate. Even if it's just one item, it would add interest. I do enjoy napkin rings. That's a great collection to start. It doesn't have to be your name or monogram, but it is extra special when you find something personal. And I've shared the history of napkin rings previously in a visit to the Columbia Antique Marketplace. You'll see that lion passant, and that's a sign that it's sterling silver. You'll notice this has an oval area for the monogram and shamrocks. Quite an interesting napkin ring, and if we turn it over, it's flat on the back, which I think makes it even more interesting because it sits better on the table. Antique Victorian and cut glass perfume bottles. I have 2 of these on my vanity, and it certainly is something that I enjoy, and they're useful as well with sterling silver tops. Just love these. Strawberry baskets. These are great for tea time, and they've got some antique centerpieces as well with some fresh flowers. And I can certainly see that filled with scones or strawberries. And we see the sugar shakers. That's another great collection that you could start. Priced at $250. Sugar shakers or muffineers originated in 18th century France. We also saw many of these in the Victorian era. Waterford Crystal made these in the 1990s, a combination of crystal and silver plate. These are absolutely exquisite. This one is silver plate. It's priced at $195, and of course you need that strawberry basket to go with it. A beautiful centerpiece with this silver-plated set of vases from about 1890. It's priced at $850. Would be nice for a seasonal display as well. A matching pair of compotes to balance your dining server or table, and some wonderful essentials, including the biscuit barrel, one of my absolute favorites. This is from the Victorian era. It is etched and has sterling silver around the rim, the handle, and the lid. It's priced at $895 from about 1897. There is such detail here, definitely high on my wish list. Can use it in so many ways. Now we're going to step into more of a German or Austrian decor here with the Hirschgeweih, which are antlers, And it also has some detail with the location. This dealer gets a lot of items brought in from her contacts in Austria. This one is from 1920. And if you've seen the video of our home in Germany, you may recognize this style around our fireplace. I feel like I'm back in Germany with the Hirschgeweih antlers. This is something you could certainly incorporate into your home. We do have this in Germany, and the dealer has a great recommendation for placing creamware around this to build your story. That certainly would be an interesting addition to a country home. If you're looking to outfit a room with a masculine touch or perhaps add some interest to a country home, this would be a wonderful piece of art. It is said to be Kaiser Wilhelm in a well-known print. There is such detail here with the carving, and you'll see those small acorns. It's a very heavy piece. And here we've got that sticker, was weit Vorzeit from 1908. The Hunt. Cobalt cut to clear. What a gorgeous piece, and some beautiful crystals surrounding it. This is an interesting upcycle. Lots of creativity behind these pieces, and I will tell you more about it. We'll have you looking through your jewelry box for some extra findings and pieces that maybe you don't use anymore. Maybe a family heirloom watch. Certainly get some great inspiration here of how you can enjoy these pieces and repurpose them. It's always fun to meet interesting dealers and learn from them, and I think I will be sending my grandma's watch to Fran, see if she can upcycle it for me. This was a shoe buckle. She can work her magic, and I will share some of these pieces with you. The emerald is extra special. Fran Riddell upcycles parts and pieces to create interesting jewelry. This is a collage necklace made with different pieces that you might find in your jewelry box, and a belt buckle and shoe buckle made into a bracelet paired with cultured pearls. And my favorite is the vintage watch casing with a gemstone. Copper molds are highly collectible and would be a great kitchen accent. You can use them for baking cakes or for making puddings. That would be fancy from the Victorian era. Quite interesting. You may think these are tea caddies. This is actually a letterbox from the 1800s with the original taffeta lining. Another interesting upcycle with jewelry art made from brooches. I like the floral bouquet design. Trench art, the ultimate upcycle. We've talked about this in the recent video, visit to Charles Keaton and Warrenton during the Round Top show. And a viewer, Laura from South Texas, purchased one from Charles and uses this as an umbrella stand in her entryway. Brilliant. Lots of cut glass and so much history to share here with this dealer. Some beautiful pieces, including some antique plates. These are hand painted from 1870. And a sterling basket that would be perfect for any time of the year. You can line it with a linen napkin and fill it with scones. It's monogrammed with the letter D, and I'll tell you more about this piece. And the back stamp tells us a lot about the maker. A sterling silver basket is perfect for the Easter celebration. This one is from the turn of the century, and it has applied sterling details there. And if you look at the hallmark, it is Shreve. That's a company that was founded by George and Samuel Shreve in 1852 in San Francisco. They rose to prominence and are highly collectible today. Many folks just look for Shreve. It's rare to find an American brilliant piece that is marked. This nappy dish has the Libby Glass Company's logo. In the center, we see that acid-etched stamp. Lots of pocket watches, which was a staple in the 1800s and turn of the century. These glass paperweights are pretty, but they're actually quite valuable. If you see these at a local antique consignment or thrift, give it a second look. We learned a lot about these in our previous visit to the Carmine Dance Hall Antique Show. This is from Clichy, and these are all French. Absolutely brilliant. And I keep looking when I'm out thrifting. Haven't found one yet, but you never know. This design is rather unique with the millefiori. There is so much to discover here, and this piece I never would have imagined was so valuable, but it is rather rare. Lots of estate jewelry as well. So many beautiful pieces here. Some ladies' pocket watches and lockets. That heart bracelet, my grandma had one in the 1940s. And the cameos. This one is striking with the amethyst and that cabochon shape. It is priced at $325 and it is Art Nouveau. And these rings are fantastic. The Art Deco era is well represented here. And if you think about it, it's actually much more affordable than buying something in a jewelry store today, especially with the carat weight and, of course, the quality and craftsmanship. And this could be a nice engagement ring. I'll have to try this one on. Just love it. Priced at $2,750. The Art Deco jewelry period started in 1920 and continued until 1935. It is still a classic and would be a great idea for an engagement ring. This is $2,750. Quilts are sought after during the Round Top show weeks, and this pop of color here would be a great way to anchor a wall. It is a vintage yo-yo quilt, priced at $365. I've never seen anything like it. Some fun jewelry, including more affordable sterling silver and a charm bracelet. I find that this tells your story, of your hobbies, milestones in your life, and it's also a piece of history. We saw one over-the-top charm bracelet at the Guild Shop of Houston, and you probably remember that segment. It was absolutely incredible. And these are some very interesting charms. A lady's pocket watch was something that was purposeful, practical, and part of an accessory in the 1800s and turn of the century. And this one was quite personal. As we turn it over, we will see that it belonged to Josephine. I wonder if ruby might have been her birthstone. And now we can give it new life. These cameos are beautiful. I would love to know more about that material. Look at that blue. I've never seen anything like that. We'll have to visit with the dealer during the next show in October. And these look like museum pieces. Something that belongs in the royal family. 18 karat, priced at $9,500. Absolutely amazing. You could make some wedding rings out of those diamonds. It's a pendant and a brooch. This is made of enamel. A fascinating design. Definitely looks from the 1800s. This is priced at $1,500 and was made from a series of stick pins. That's quite clever. More Art Deco rings, which I absolutely adore. Certainly more affordable to shop the antique show than a typical jewelry store, especially for engagement rings. The Majolica plates are fabulous with that cobalt, priced at $125. And this planter is quite something. And we see more quilts there in the background. Ironstone pitchers and transferware. Of course, I have to pick it up and turn it over. Let's look at that back stamp. It's an interesting scene. Not the typical, looks a bit exotic. Maastricht, it is from the Netherlands. Priced at $18 for a luncheon plate. Silhouettes are fun for decorating. My friend Julie lives in North Carolina, and she has lined her staircase with silhouettes. A few are from her family, but most are from antique consignment and thrift stores. And now we're seeing some more exquisite sterling pieces, including this coffee tea set. It's silver plated, priced at $6.95. And that is a rather complete set, and I think a great price. The syrup pitchers could be great for a brunch table. And this soup tureen has the most beautiful shade of aqua. Priced at $2.95 from Royal Worcester. There's always a lot to discover here. Perfect for the tea table. It is Victorian and silver plate from the 1880s. The table is set. And I'm sure they've got some flatware for us as well. I'm loving the cream and gold. It was made especially for Tiffany and Company from Spode. And the back stamp definitely gives us that history. Priced at $2,750. A service for $12. These sterling handled baskets would be ideal for a wedding filled with a floral bouquet. Many ways to incorporate these into your special occasions and celebrations. Those trumpet vases. You could even use a creamer for a vase. Monograms are fascinating, and this one is quite ornate on the plate. Priced at $6.95, and it's sterling silver. Here's an 1870 sterling tea set, and this ladle is interesting. $6.95. It is Kirksteve in that repoussé design. It's harder to find these solid sterling punch ladles. These days you often find a sterling handle. This dessert set would be an incredible display at tea time or any time of the day. Priced at $1,350 for the entire set. We always find treasures here in the case. Just some amazing items that he brings in. And this coffee pot has an interesting design. I'll tell you more about that. With a bit of Chinoiserie. These spoons are interesting. $2.25 Sheffield in the original box. They certainly were well cared for over the years. And here's a closer look at the coffee pot. You'll see that design, and I'll tell you more about the history. And the set is $4,995. Quite intricate. It doesn't get any better than sterling silver and chinoiserie, though it does look Japanese to me. This is from Edward Barnard, 1876, with a London hallmark. The coffee pot, teapot, creamer, and sugar is an incredible set. Lots of detail with the finial, an intricate design that is carried throughout, even to the spout. It is a nod to the Orient with the exotic look, with the rolled edge, the higher handles, and the gold lining. And now we will take a look at some pint-sized furniture and practical tables, and a series of watercolors from an English village from the 1800s. You'll notice those bun feet, the beveled edge, and this tiny table was actually a salesman's sample. It has a turned candlestick center support, priced at $450. And now we'll see an 18th century drop leaf mahogany table. It's priced at $1,200. It has a center drawer, no wasted space here. Such an interesting piece. That inlaid drop leaf is incredible. And these are certainly purposeful. From the late 19th century, made of mahogany, priced at $595. And you certainly will be glad to have one of these if you're out at an antique store. I highly recommend that you add this to your collection. I always say gate leg tables fit anywhere and go everywhere. It is a practical and purposeful furniture piece. This is extra special with the inlay and brass feet, known as a tuckaway table. This is an 18th century table from about 1719, made of Georgian oak. It is known as a handkerchief corner table, certainly a space saver. And if you think of the colonial era, it makes sense. It's a great piece. A vintage pair of Federal-style flame mahogany tables. You'll see that lift top storage and the tooled leather tops on tapered legs, priced at $1,200. And that is for the pair. So many interesting pieces. I'm learning a lot from the dealers. And it truly is almost a museum experience. An antique pair of Georgian 3-drawer chests. These were salesman samples. They have burl veneer, priced at $2,895 for the pair. Another piece of history. Imagine these large cabinets, but they're in miniature form. Again, salesman samples, an antique wardrobe. And they even have the drawers. This one's priced at $650. And the hooks are inside as well. This is a cupboard with 2 shelves and a bottom drawer, priced at $995. Space saver tables. The dealer is showing us how these tuckaway tables work very well for small spaces. Modern furniture makers should look at some of these pieces from the past to better design these so that we can be more efficient with our space. Here the legs fold in. You could slip that under the sofa and pull it out when you need it. Great for a small space. This piano bench is another example of a salesman's sample. It is a working piece from the late 19th century, priced at $275. You can raise or lower the seat. It's quite neat. Classic blue and white is Chinoiserie inspired, with this ginger jar and pair of vases, sold as a set for $375. It has a Delft pattern name, but if we look at the back stamp, it is made by the Boch brothers of Belgium, cousins of the Villeroy and Boch family of Germany. A crazy quilt It is such fun, velvet lined, interesting stitches. My friend Judy has a crazy quilt that she has used as wall art for years behind a comfortable red leather chair. Some great memories of it at her home there. Has that satin back, priced at $5.75. Texas Silver Mercantile. They can help you with your silver and glass repair and so much more. They are based in Houston. You can find them in the Houston Thrift Guide and the Round Top Show Guide and Map. Such fun today. So glad you joined me today for the Carmine Dance Hall Spring Antique Show. We found lots of treasures with interesting history. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Bath. Elevate your everyday with antique shows.